All right. Cheers with no glasses. Good to have you on. Glad it worked out.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of your work. No, no, I do. I love your photography stuff that you're doing. How's the weekend? Start there.
It was pretty chill. Yeah, it was good. It was relaxing. Didn't go out Friday. Saturday went out a little bit. There was the music showcase.
Where's the music showcase?
They do a music showcase every year here in Denver. I know, like, bunch of DJs and stuff, and like go around. Yeah,
I missed that.
yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah. And there were some afters that I did not go to, allegedly. So
We won't investigate anymore.
no.
We'll do what the FBI did for the Epstein file.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Exactly.
So we got what a mess that is. Anyways, we don't have to go too into that, but it's a mess. Don't vote those people in.
What about you, man? How was your weekend?
It was good. I wish I could say I didn't go out, but I did. It was a rare occasion. I had some buddies in town, showing them around, and we went out Friday, and
Nice.
that was you know those times where you have your friend group and you have those other times when you go out with certain people and like the vibes are just high and everyone's just having a good time.
Yeah.
That's how it was Friday. Like we were like, let's go out for a few drinks, but the vibes were high, and then it was like, now we're out till midnight. It's like just laughing, having a good time,
Yeah.
shooting the shit type of deal, and that's
awesome.
the best. So
Hell yeah.
wasn't too bad. And I did a 14er. Not the day after. I took a break in between. So Saturday did nothing.
Yeah.
14er yesterday. But yeah, I had to take full advantage of moving out here. I was like, I got to start doing that stuff. That's part of why. So we both bartended, and that was why I decided to stop bartending and stuff, because I was like, I need to enjoy my summers. Like, it was nice. The extra money's hard to, especially in the summer with the patio and stuff. It's like people are out there all the time I made like 60 an hour my last shift, and I was like, it's hard to get rid of. Sometimes you got to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that philosophy in a minute, but no, moving out here, I was like, I gotta take full advantage of being out here for a full summer. And if I'm working 2 days on the weekend and 5 days during the week, I'm never gonna get to do any of the fun stuff that I want to do. So I gotta.
So what was the point of moving out here?
Rose Point moving out. Exactly right. I could work at a bar in the beach in Florida if I wanted. Yeah, which I don't want to do. So for sure. Yeah. You got any funny bartending stories?
Yeah, a little bit. So I bartended in kind of like this affluent area called Cherry Creek out here. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We're talking the Denver area for those who don't know. Yeah.
It's kind of like ritzy. People with money definitely go there, and people without money but 80-20. You know,
People without money.
People, me, you know, the
people that are working there have no money.
So it was a good time, but like dealing with those kinds of people, like sense of entitlement, things like that. So it was definitely an experience dealing with those people. They're super non-confrontational. So as soon as you like stand up for yourself or challenge them in any way, it's the most hilarious thing ever. Either they'll like back off immediately, or they'll, kind of freak out, and they'll like, I've literally heard people say, it was like, oh, I'm going to contact my lawyer. I never heard anyone say that seriously until I started bartending at Cherry Creek. And it's funny.
That's ridiculous.
So I had more funny stories. I had better customers when I bartended on Colfax. And Colfax was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved bartending on Colfax. That was super fun.
Yeah.
And
for those who don't know, Colfax is an area in Denver that there's some bars and stuff, but the street can be a little grimy.
Yeah. But like, it has its charm.
Of fun.
Yeah.
I would equate it with back in Tampa, the Ybor area.
Okay.
Same similar. Some bars and stuff. But then you're like, maybe I shouldn't be out here too late.
But then you're out there till like, 4 a.m.
Yeah. It's funny you say that with like the richer areas, snobby areas, what I'm going to call it right now. But I had a job in college. My first semester of college, I decided to go to FAU, which is in Boca Raton, Florida. Hour and a half north of Miami, but it's like known for like being one of the richer areas in Florida.
Okay.
And it is literally like all Northeasterners. It's like white old Jewish men, and it was so snobby. And I worked at a Chick-fil-A my freshman year of college at a mall. I remember being like, the people here are the absolute worst I've ever had to deal with in my life. Like, they're always like, my drink. What about my drink? And you're like, yeah, I'm working on it. I gotta finish your order first. Can you tap your card, sir, please?
You haven't even paid yet, dude.
Like, it was like, it was snobby. Don't get me wrong. I hated it there. But It was a very interesting mall. Like, it was the only mall I've ever been into where there were Bentleys and stuff inside.
Oh,
Bentley, Porsche, and like, yeah, you know, they have the like,
Yeah.
you walk into a mall like a Kia.
Yeah.
Hey, check out the Kia store. They're like, hey, check out the Bentley,
Yeah.
you know, Ghost. And I'm like, oh, okay, just casually in the mall.
I guess Cherry Creek. Have you been to Cherry Creek Mall yet?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, they have like a Benz in there, I think, right now, something like that, but not like anything like a Bentley or something like that. But I don't know. My favorite's still Aurora Mall. Go to Aurora Mall.
I don't even know if I want to go check out.
Right. They got
a Star.
how about shoes? They
They
got
got a Star Japan. My selling point. Me and my buddy were obsessed with Sarku Japan back in Florida. Like, we could get after workouts, after a long day at the beach. It'd be like perfect. So it's like takeout Japanese food.
Yeah.
Chicken teriyaki, nothing crazy. And we've like yet to find one. And then just the other day, I don't know what prompted me to look at the Broomfield Mall or whatever, and there's one there.
Oh, wow.
It's like, bro, we're gonna get lunch there one of those days.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you gotta go there and get
go.
lunch. It's been taking forever to get there.
Uh,
So you were born and raised in Denver.
Yep.
And you moved out, and now you moved back. I think something, just because it's very prevalent to my life, and having recently moved away and like far away, but always like talking about that and bringing that up and whatever advice you have for people, because I don't know what your thoughts on this are. You could always move back. Like, I kind of have plans to move back to Florida at some point.
Right.
My family's there. They're gonna be getting older, things like that.
Yeah.
But I always think it's important to move out and like try new things and just experience the world. But so many people don't do that.
Right.
And I don't know if you have friends like that. I'm not trying to talk shit on my friends, although they know who they are. But like, you just like, I don't personally get that, where I'm like, I want to stay in the same spot forever. Like,
Yeah.
or, you know, some of them moved like maybe 30, 40 minutes away, like south to like the bigger city. Like we're not, where we grew up, or I grew up, I should say, was like 30, 40 minutes out of Tampa. So we're not in the city by any means. We're not even really around it, but
Yeah.
they might move into the city to have some fun, and then they maybe go back out. But it's like, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. I'm like, I always wanted to move out. I always wanted to try new things, because I was like, this will always be here. Like, I get basically back. Is that kind of the same thought you had when you were about that?
Yeah. So, I didn't think I was going to be in Denver. I don't think I'm going to be in Denver for forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's that? Not to derail you from this.
No, you get. I really love California.
Okay.
San Diego, LA, San Francisco. Those are like my main spots.
Fair enough.
I loved it out there. So yeah, kind of good segue. Like, when I did move away from Denver, I moved to San Francisco. And that was amazing. I loved it out there. Amazing food, nice culture. Like, you go to any district in the Bay Area, and
Yeah.
it's completely different, right? You got a different subculture, different people, different attitudes, different types of food. Again, you know, different music. Although like Bay Area music is superior, I will say that. How do you put the hip hop scene? I'm a hip hop guy, so
Okay.
I'll take that. But I guess going back to your question, yeah, I definitely recommend everyone moving away from their hometown. Try something for at least a year.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna grow if you're comfortable.
Oh,
You know?
true that.
And I mean, a lot of people that don't move out of their hometown find other ways to kind of grow and expand and
That's true.
be uncomfortable themselves. You know, so like, no shade to them, no shade to anyone that hasn't left, because they have their own story, they have their own growth. But the I don't know, like
The catalyst.
acceleration,
The acceleration's there. Big time.
yeah, moving out somewhere is exponential, right?
I could
Yeah.
go on that. We're gonna go into that actually. Yeah.
So I actually moved away twice. So one was for the Navy, so that in itself was a bubble. Yeah, I was in the Navy. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So,
a veteran on the show got.
ooh, don't do it. Yeah.
We get into that, but
So that in itself is this bubble. So like, I still wanted like more experience, you know.
sorry to kill me.
You good?
Like, don't do that. Don't do that. But okay, so we moved out. Continue.
So that was like 5 years of my life.
Yeah.
There I was forward deployed to Japan. So I lived in Japan for a little bit. Again, culture shock, awesome, amazing, learned so much stuff. But we were deployed all the time, so got to visit like Hong Kong, Guam, all over Japan, South Korea, friggin' Australia. We went all over the place, you know, Malaysia, Singapore.
Yeah.
So like that. So if you can't get out of your hometown, travel, because like that also helps you grow and like learn things.
Yeah,
and
join the military.
yeah.
Travel there.
Don't do it that way,
do
but like, it is a free ticket.
What was the catalyst for joining the military, if you don't mind me asking?
So again, feeling stuck in Denver.
Yeah.
Not really knowing what I wanted to do. I tried community college. I just couldn't stay in class. Just wasn't challenging to me. Because I didn't make it challenging. And I just needed an escape, and it was either do dumb things for the rest of my life and stay kind of like stagnant
Mhm.
and do whatever job, not be really fulfilled or anything, or join the Navy, see what was out there.
Yeah.
You
sign on for 5, or did you
signed up for 4
and then just did
yeah.
an extended one?
extended one. And really, like, as soon as I got in there, I was like, I got to go back to college. I got to learn some stuff. And then I figured out what I wanted to do out there, which was, so I worked in aviation,
Okay.
but through travels and everything like that, seeing a lot of beautiful things, I was like, I need a new camera.
Taking a lot of beautiful photos.
Yeah, I was like, I need a good camera. So that's how I really got into photography and videography.
So during that deployment out
Yeah.
there and seeing different things, you were like, and taking pictures, you're like, wait, I kind of enjoy this.
Yeah.
And then you started to dive in a bit more, build
Get better at it, and
Okay.
yeah, kind of built that. Then went to college for video production and digital media, and then now it's my career.
How was that going in college for that? I mean, I know a ton of people that did that, and I also know a ton of people that just learned by themselves. What do you think there's a benefit to going to college with that, or?
Yes and no. Okay. So with anything, it's like considered a communications degree, I guess. Bachelor of Arts in communications, emphasis on all that other stuff. But to me, the benefit was just like pushing me to learn.
Yeah.
And the school itself, I don't think provided too much because they focus on broadcast journalism. So like if you want to be stuck in a newsroom, great, perfect program, amazing, right? But through the Navy, I got my degree pretty much for free. I had to pay for my last semester because I messed around a little bit. But yeah, just, I got my degree because 1, Navy paid for it. 2, made mom happy, But yeah,
I feel that too. My parents are like, "You're going." I'm like, I don't want to go.
But
Want to go?
the more experience, the more skill I developed was stuff that I learned on like YouTube, through mentors, through just experience.
Yeah.
Just through research and trial and error. Like that's where I learned most of my stuff.
Was your mentor someone that was in the college, or was it someone that just you reached out to and they took you under their wing, kind of?
Not really either. It was someone that I had known through Denver's photo community.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got lucky, but I got really lucky and had this like really good group of photographers, and they were really good friends with each other. And somehow I entered that group through some way.
Yeah.
And then they started teaching me stuff, started telling me like, hey, I'm shooting this person. Do you want to tag along? Like, I'll teach you some stuff. Hey, I'm going to the studio. Do you want to tag along?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
It's stuff like that like, honestly, I don't even take away from your story, but it is things like that that make me excited. And I'm like, and I wish there's more stories about that out there, about like in general, just because I think that's like the good side of, you hear so many like bullshit stories of these that nature, when it's like really comes down to the people, and the people that are willing to help out, and the good in people in the world.
Yeah.
Things like that are just, I don't know. I think there should be more stories.
No, it's super nice, and I'm very fortunate. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, you just got to reach out to people. Like if you get a good vibe from a person, and you're like, hey, yeah, I want to do what you do, you should just ask them and see what happens. And sometimes like these stories end up being like how mine is. Yeah. And I'm still growing. I'm still learning. So like, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one of the good things or not one of the good things, but that's important that you're always learning. I don't know. I think that's like just because like, I don't know if you experience this, but I feel like so many of like I can speak for like some of my parents, like some of the things, like I feel like there's never like, they're like, oh, that's it. I'm here now. I'm 60, I'm 70. Just never I'm gonna stop learning. And that's another thing where I'm like, I can't picture myself not learning something at some point, because like there's always these different things, or I listen to different podcasts that challenge my perspective.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And maybe that's because we have that more available to us than our parents had.
Right.
And now they kind of do. But yeah, it's just, I think that's a very key and important part of life, is like constantly growing and learning.
Exactly.
Like, I don't get the stagnation part of things. And even in like a mental state, or you know, your own personal well-being of like getting better. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be something physical or a job or something of that. It could just be like, I want to become a better person, or I want to be, you know, better nutrition, better this, whatever it is. It's like, I'm like always about like, I should just learn more about that.
Yeah.
Because then otherwise, I think the universe, God, whatever I don't know what your belief is, but whatever it is your belief is, I think you've experienced of the same challenges and things like over and over again
100%.
until you face it and learn from it. Otherwise, you just keep the same mistakes over and over again. And so many people, I think it's just a lot easier for people to not take accountability, which I mean, what is for sure. I wish I could live in that delusion of just like, not my fault. Like, I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, anything happens, I'm like, wow, I really screwed that up. And I just think about, and like, I'm just so deprecating about it. I wish I could now be like that. But with that being said, like, I think so many people just, well, not my fault. They immediately push the blame onto something else. And I think that like really prevents your growth.
No, absolutely. 100%.
On anything, like from a spiritual sense, mental sense, or to like a job thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't my fault. And you're like, well, you beat one. I don't know what.
Like, anytime like I get a critique or something, I'm like, all right, like I don't try to take it personally unless I know it's personal, and then I'll like call them out on it. But stand up for yourself, folks. I'm like, okay, was I lazy doing this? What can I do better?
Yeah.
What was available to me at the time? Things like that. Being like realistic about it, but like also being like, yeah, I could have done better for sure. Like, what can I learn from that? But like without that self-deprecating part. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to sit with that though, and be like, what can I learn from that? Because it is, I think, I mean, even as much as I had the blame on myself, there are times where like, I'm like, I don't want to sit with that right now. I don't want to think about that. Just push that to the side for a little.
I used to. Yeah. I used to be super bad about that, like ignoring it. Like, I'm like, okay, I know it was my fault. I know I messed up. I know I could do better, but like, I'll figure that out later down the road. I kept pushing it.
The bill comes due.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was just like, no, like people want to work with me. People want to do my stuff. I want to give them the best quality. So let me improve these skills. And when I started improving those skills, like started getting happier with my work.
Yeah. What was there a catalyst for that, of like not pushing things off anymore?
I think it like built up. It was just like one of those things, and then like reached a breaking point.
Right.
And it's funny. I think it happened at my job.
Okay.
I had a manager that wasn't the greatest, you know, and there was like a lot of turmoil in that. And then I got written up. And then once I got written up, like I was scared I was going to lose my job, my corporate gig. And I guess, you know, that meme or video snippet, like, and then something just clicked. Yeah. And I was like, fuck it. Can I cuss? My bad?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Something just clicked, and I said, fuck it. All right, I'll show you. And then I just like, it was kind of like that. I was like, all right, cool. And then like ever since then, I just been like, all right, I need to learn, need to improve. And
like almost lock in, keep going.
I locked in. I think I locked in too much and I overwhelmed myself. So like that's also like on the opposite side of that.
Right.
It's like I'm too much on like, oh, I'm trying to learn SEO. I'm trying to like, I want to learn a bunch of things about marketing, you know?
Oh my God.
SEO, social, paid ads, you know, like funnel ROI, all this stuff. And I was just like,
yeah,
it's too much.
Yes.
So like now I'm just focusing on like one aspect of that.
I love that you just said that. That has been such a relevant theme in my life the last 2 months, where like so before we even met, like I was doing my content on my, you know, regular short form content. I was doing YouTube, I was doing the podcast, also having to learn how to edit these things, or I was paying them, had my regular 9-to-5 job. I did this like Amazon reseller shit with some friends for a little bit. Okay. And then we had, then they went on to do like they had a really big thing going that they did for like 3 years, and they needed help with like they needed some part-time workers, and they were paying me like $50 to $100 an hour for what that needed. And I was doing like, and I was like, I was like, hey, I'm chasing the money. And like, because I justified it in my head, which it did kind of work out, but it just took too much time away of like doing what I wanted to do. But I was like, I can use this money to like pay someone to edit, and I can just still create, which we could say that how it worked. It didn't always work out that way. But my point being is like I was doing same thing. Like I had come to terms with at the beginning of this year, like right when I started my new corporate gig, where I was like, I'm doing way too many things.
Yeah.
Now. Like I am just like overloaded. Yeah. And so I went drastic because I also what happened was I had some personal things going on, and I was going, and then I would realize like I don't know what it is I want to be doing, which was like because I'm doing so much, and now I've like lost where what was the point of starting all this? Like, and so I did something drastic, which I don't know if I'd recommend everyone to do. Sometimes you need to do it. I basically stopped everything. I stopped for like 2 months. I was like, I'm not doing anything for. And so I just cut everything out. Done. Like cold turkey. I was like, hey, I'm done with this in February. Like I'm done. And like what? Like just like everything was done. And I deleted social media because that was a big part of things that I was doing. So like I need to be done for a month too. Like can't make any content, doing nothing. We're like literally the point was like we're stopping everything to figure out what we're doing. But again, maybe a little drastic, but it helped me because I had like a full 4 weeks of nothing to do but my regular job, which was kind of nice. Yeah. I haven't done that in years. So in a weird way, it was like for the first 2 weeks, I was like, this is nice. Yeah. It was also like, I remember I like called my mom and I was like, is this what like normal people do? Like they don't do anything after work. They just like, I was like watching full movies. I can't remember the last time besides on like a weekend night where I watched a full movie. Yeah. And so I was like, she's like, yeah, that's what I do. I've always had my regular job and that's it. Like I don't do anything else. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. And I did enjoy it for like 2-3 weeks. And then by like the third week, I was kind of like, I need to start doing something again. Yeah. But I ended up extending it an extra month because I was like, I really want to figure out what it is that like I'm doing. And I also extended it for some other reasons, which we can get into at some point. But absolutely, it was like you nailed it perfectly out of that long story, winded story. Was like I felt like I was doing everything and doing too much of everything. Yeah, and I lost sight of what it was I originally wanted to do and why. And then on top of it, I felt like everything I was doing, I was good enough to where I could talk about it. You could put me in a conversation. Yeah. I can talk. I can elaborate on it. But I'm not an expert. I'm not an 8 out of 10, 9 or 10 out of 10. I'm like a 4 on everything.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. But the reality is that doesn't get you like anywhere.
I'm gonna disagree with you right there. Okay. Like, yeah, I believe like having some sort of like base knowledge about things will get you through the door. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I should rephrase this. Okay. I think a jack of all trades is useful if that is what you want to be. Yeah. And you want to like, if you're a project manager, you know a little bit about everything. Or that's probably a horrible idea. If I was a project manager, I'm like, that's not what I do. But like, my point being like, yeah, if you like with this, I should have a baseline knowledge of like sound, the video, the lighting, the microphone. But at the end of the day, it's like really what I need to focus on is like getting ready to interview the guests, getting the show the best experience, and then maybe some stuff on the back end with YouTube. Okay. But like but I can't do everything. I mean, I have to right now to the best I can, but it doesn't help me get farther if I'm not focusing on one thing.
Right. Okay. I see what you mean.
And I think I should elaborate on that more because as I was saying, I was like, this also might be a horrible example. But like, for instance, like if I wanted to do the podcast show, it's important for me to focus all my energy on just the podcast and the YouTube versus doing the podcast, the YouTube, and doing Amazon resale and doing the other things that don't help. It's different if the thing helps toward that goal. Right. But if you're doing like 7 different things that don't pertain to one goal, that's when it's like, what are we doing here? Yeah. And that's what I was doing, I should say.
You're building a bunch of like tiny piles versus like one.
Yeah. And again, like I justify like, oh, I get some extra money here and I'll like use it to use here. But then the reality is it's like, it's pulling away, 8 to 10 hours a week or even just 20 hours a month that could be going toward this completely. And that's how I felt with like at the bar, like working at the bar. I was like, this is great money. I definitely need the money, but it doesn't help me with any of the goals I have because I'm now working extra 2 or 3 days a week. And then on top of it, if it's a weekday and I'm going right from my one job to the next job, when I come home from my 9 to 5 on the day after, I don't want to do anything. No, fucking go to ball and chill.
Yeah.
I want to chill. I want to eat, cook dinner, and go to bed.
Yeah.
And then I would do that because that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I would, now that's not one day taken away from me. It's 2 days every week taken away from me. And then times that by however many days I work out of the bar. So, I work 2 days a week. It's really, I'm doing nothing now for 4 days a week.
Yeah.
So it was just like things like that where you just start to realize like I got to cut a bunch of stuff out. Yeah. And then if you don't know what to cut out, that's where I guess my advice is like, just cut everything out. Just get you to cut it all out. And then you'll figure out. Yeah, exactly. You can bring it right back. Like I took the time and I was like, all right, well, I love conversations with people.
Yeah.
And I love podcasting. So I guess that stays. I enjoy that. Basically, my whole framework too, that was like, what do I enjoy doing? And if I don't enjoy it, then it's gone.
Yeah.
And
if it doesn't serve you.
If it doesn't serve me, it's gone. Yeah. So that was a big change for me because I think I had stopped. Like that's how I probably got started, and I just like drifted really far away from this. But that's like my North Star now.
Yeah, okay.
With anything, I'm like, if it doesn't bring me joy, why would I do it?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to go to dinner? No. Should I don't? I want to stay. And I mean, I've done that like with going out on Friday night sometimes. So people are like, you want to go out? And I'm like, do I? And then and don't get me wrong, you should sometimes have fun with your friends. Yeah. But like, there were times where like I could tell I did not want to go out. Yeah. And so then when I don't want to go out, why would I force myself to go out? You end up regretting it anyways the next day. You're like, damn, I should have fucking stayed in.
Yeah.
I need to get that.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. Someone just told me a quote about something. What's that? Okay, so this is like, I love like my alone time.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate it. I hate when it turns into like isolation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love like being just at home alone by myself, doing my own thing, like being productive, working on my own things, right?
Yeah.
But then when I completely isolate, I don't have that time to recharge outside, like I have my friends, I have, my family, I have good food, places that I want to try to eat. Those are little things that I enjoy. And I guess food is a big part of my life because, as you know, that's my favorite thing to, take photo and video of. It's food and beverage.
Yeah.
So like experiencing food as well before like capturing it or doing anything with it is super important to me as far as like recharging myself. Mm-hmm. So, I found myself in like this growth process, isolating. Like I wouldn't see my friends. I wouldn't like experience everything. Order Uber Eats all the time. Just like terrible food, and just like the only time I went outside was to walk my dog, and I'm just like, I need to get out of here. And I was doing less stuff for myself in isolation than I do when like I'm experiencing life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think it's Chris Williams talks about that as like a lonely chapter in life. Everybody goes through the lonely chapter. Of like self-growth and stuff. And he's even pushed back a bit. Like, he used to talk about it and he's kind of pushed back against it now. He's like, I don't know if you necessarily have to be lonely because of what a lot of things you just said, where it's like, I get isolated. I'm not like taking care of me and stuff like that. And it's like, the reality is again, I think, at least in my opinion, like my North Star is like, you should enjoy and have fun with the things you're doing. There should be a delicate balance. Not that, Thanos is the best role model, but he does say, there's a balance that big things should be. You guys are good he's a good part about balance in there, which I mean, in his case, he's not right, but all right. But when it's we can dumb it down to our case, which is like, you should balance like, in things you enjoy and having fun, and also like, going and see friends and eating out and doing things you want to do. Yeah. But it is hard. I think that's also like a big pressure that any creator, or artists, or even business people that kind of put that pressure on themselves of like, I have to, because like we do look at it like that sometimes, where it's like, I could go out to eat with some friends, and then I'm like, but I need to do this. Yeah. And it is kind of hard to find that balance. I know I struggle with that at times. The one thing I can say, and I don't know, everyone works differently, but the one thing for me that works is having like a set schedule. Yeah. Like I've heard both sides and both takes, and they do both make sense to me. I've had some where they're like, I have nothing on my calendar and it's the most freeing thing in the world. And I'm like, okay, I don't disagree with that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, for me, it's like almost more freeing to have a schedule. And I know I'm free Wednesday. Let's go fucking have fun. I have nothing to do on Wednesday. And then like, all right, Thursday's the podcast day. Like I gotta lock in on that. Oh, okay. Like for me, it works easier that way. I think maybe that's because I also do a lot of things last minute, but So it's if I can plan out, then I know like what days I can go have fun, plan those last minute things. But again,
Chaos. Yeah.
control chaos. Yeah. Yeah. But everyone's different. Like, again, I've had people that are like, I got a free schedule. And I'm like, I don't know how. I mean, I could do that. But then, like, for me, things start slipping through the cracks. Yeah. I tell someone I'm going to go to dinner on Tuesday. And then someone else tells me, like, so we have a drink on Tuesday. And I'm like, heck yeah. And then Tuesday rolls around. And I'm like, oh, wait, now I have to go to two places at once. So I don't know. Any tips on that one?
Yeah, not me. So like I think I'm kind of teetering like on the other side, where like I have things on my calendar, but not everything's on my calendar.
Yeah.
And some things I just like fly by the seat of my whatever that expression is.
Yeah, fly by the seat of my pants.
That's yeah. So like if clients, like people that pay me for like headshots or a video from them, like that goes straight up on my calendar. I can't mess that up,
Right.
Reservations with my girl at a dinner place, that is not on my calendar.
Okay.
Because I know she'll remind me. See, I'm like kind of rely on.
Yeah.
Keeping up with like things that I'm learning or where I've been at, or even like progress in the gym or like nutrition stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna guess that. This is organization.
That's true.
That's organization in a general, like as a whole. So like when it comes to like my calendar and stuff, like, hey, do you want to go out tonight? Yeah. Do I need to finish something? Also, yes. So I don't know. Like it's like this weird, like it's not in the calendar, and I know I should do it, and let's do both. Let's try to do both. So like I'll be like trying to finish something up while getting ready, while like my friends are coming over to my house to like do something beforehand. I don't know. It's like this weird like pressure thing, like, oh, I have to do this. Now I've committed to do this. Now I have to finish everything else.
I mean, that's not a bad way of doing it if you have to put yourself in that situation to like get it going. Like I don't disagree with that either, because there's times where it's like, if I can get all this done, then I get to go do this. Like it's almost like you're rewarding yourself for putting all that hard work in.
Like you ever have a dirty place and like someone's coming over and like that's what motivates you to clean?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah. It's a great analogy. Yes, I do get that. There's a little bit of that pressure. Yeah, it's like the same thing with like you're growing up and your projects due the day before you get it done. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There are things I for sure do that with 100%. I just know when it comes to like the bigger things, like I have to kind of get a little more strategic with them, especially if I want to take them serious and like stick to it. Perfect example, not even with like this stuff, but like when I was going through that period, like trying to figure out what I was going to do, I was like, all right, I'm not just going to, we have an audience. Hello, kids.
Hi, guys.
We're recording in the common area of the apartment, which eventually will have the studio back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, one of the things that I had done during that time, because I was like, I need to figure out stuff and I need to focus on things. So I like wrote in the journal, like, here's what I'm doing for the next month. Not like break it down day by day on certain things I did. I should just, but I was essentially like, I want to take this next month to do these certain things. So I'm going to write them down.
Yeah.
And then the only things I had written out daily was like, I wrote out a workout plan so I could do that every day.
Okay.
I did write out nutrition, but like at a macro level.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really go into detail. Like it was more like, what vitamins are we taking every day? How much protein are we attempting to get every day?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like that specific. It was like, I'm going to make sure I just have 3 protein shakes a day on top of whatever meals I have. Well, yeah, because I was really trying to bulk out. But so basics like that I wrote down. And that was like easy for me to go, okay, every day I gotta have those 3 things and that's it. And then I wrote down like, I'm taking a multivitamin and vitamin D, for example, at lunch every day. Yeah. That's to make sure I do that. And then at night I'll take magnesium and something else occasionally. And like, so those things were great to have like that baseline of like what I needed to do. For sure. But yeah, I didn't go like crazy into detail. And then I had other things like I wanted to journal every day. So I wrote that at the beginning of the notebook and then just made sure I journaled every day.
Yeah.
And that was, honestly, that was like, I need to get back to doing that because that was so good for me. And I don't know, I'm big harping on that now, journaling. I'm like, everyone has a problem. I'm like, just journal about it. They're like, what? I'm like, I'm telling you, it's going to help. I don't know how to, at least it helped me. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, yeah, I've thought about it. I've wanted to do it. I just need.
Let me tell you. No, so I mean, I did like a bunch of episodes on this too because I was like, it just changed. I was going through a phase in life that like I wasn't happy with how things were going, wasn't really happy where my direction was going. And so I was like, well, how am I going to get to where I want to be? Well, I guess I got to go a little inward, start figuring things out. And so I journaled every day, plus did the nutrition, plus did the working out. And then I also included a gratitude journal every day.
Oh.
And I think that's what really helped things because, at least for me, it shifted my mindset because I was definitely in a mindset of like, I don't have this yet. You know, I was going through like a breakup. So I was also like, I don't have, my person's not there. You know, you have those normal things. And it was very easy for me to get into that trap over and over again. And with the gratitude journal, it just like took me out of that. Or I like was like, all right, I have a lot of things going for me. I mean, realize I like, because you do have a lot of things going for you. It's times I have to like realize what it is because you're thinking so much about what I don't have versus like what is going for me. And for me, the gratitude journal got me out of that loop, made me realize what I had, but then also made me realize like, wait a minute, I'm pretty close to what I want to go get.
Okay.
So if I just keep on this path and keep doing the steps I've been saying, I'm great. I got this. I can do this. So it was refreshing in that sense. Like it didn't make me like get docile and be like, oh, and I'm good and happy where I'm at. And some people it might, I don't know, but it was the opposite for me. It was like, oh, I'm doing good and I'm on the right path. So keep going, like keep pushing. But it was a big change. And journaling alone, and then I got really on a tangent there, but the journaling part of it, like, it took some time, I would say, like about 2 weeks where you start to like really see a difference.
Okay.
I think, and honestly, not to go on like another long tangent, but like, I think that's with most things, like it takes like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I know they say that with habits and stuff, but like to really notice a difference, like when you start taking your nutrition serious and you start doing like vitamins every day and everything like that, like you're not going to notice it till like for week 3. All of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I got a little pep in my step. I wonder what this is from. It's like, yeah, because you're finally being healthy. Like, you know what I mean? So same thing with the journaling. It was like around the 3-week mark where I was like, oh, I'm kind of like a lot more clear in my thoughts. And then if something did come up, I knew I could handle it right away by just writing about it right away. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like I remember like 3 weeks in or something, like something happened where like it would have probably thrown me for a loop.
Oh.
Before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to journal about this like right now. And I just like immediately like put the phone down and just like write about it. And I was like, this is blah, 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 blah. And then like I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm good for the whole weekend. And I was like, good. And I was like, that was crazy. Sick. Like I would have spiraled for 3 days a month ago and now I'm great. So, and I don't know. I can't say it's a cure all for everybody because I think everyone's different. I have some friends that did like therapy and like they swear by that. And I think that has a place too. But I think everyone's got like what works best for them. And I think that's where you got to stick with going back to like what works for you. And it's fun. Like at the core is that.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Yeah, we got a long tangent there.
Yeah, it's all good though. I was locked in. I was like focused. I was like, yeah.
Trying to think where did we come from? Where did we come from there?
Moving back to Colorado or something like that.
Oh yeah, we got the Navy and all that. Well, let's start into your photography because I'm curious about that. So you got into it when you were on deployment. You then got into some groups locally, and I guess here's what I would ask is for someone that's listening that's maybe thinking they might be into it, what steps would you take to like test it out, test the waters? You're gonna give advice to someone that's like, hey, I'm thinking about it, like, same thing, like, hey, I've been going on these trips, I love taking pictures on my phone. What would be the next step for them?
I mean, invest in a camera. Like you can never go wrong with like a base camera. It might not be the fanciest.
Yeah.
Might be like secondhand, whatever you want to do, film, digital, all that, go ahead and get a camera, decent lens, whatever it is, right? Because then you can like learn the basics. That would be my advice. Or if you have friends that have good cameras or other people that have gotten into it but then quit, or because there's plenty about that. Trust me, there's a lot of people out there
that wagon just like hit the door. Sorry.
There's a lot of people out there that have nice cameras that don't use them, and if you know about them, just like see if you could borrow it.
Yeah.
And then just start shooting. I started shooting my friends on deployment. So your friends were great, and I was again super lucky to have like scenic views all the time and go on different places. But even when I try to take it more seriously, friends and family were my first people that I was taking pictures of, videos of my dog. Mess with your iPhone, honestly. Try to get like your compositions down. Like there's plenty of free resources out there for editing as well. Mess around with that. See, go on YouTube. And then I would also, in tandem with that, at the same time, look up your communities. I guarantee you, there's a photo group, photo meetup group. Um, People that want to be models, people that are opening businesses, people that are creating their own hobbies, and how do people communicate that through photo and video? So
Especially nowadays,
exactly,
social media.
yeah. So reach out to people like, hey, I'm just starting out too. Can I take photos of your stuff? I just want to shoot.
Would reaching out to like local content creators be a good call too?
Yes and no.
Yes or no? Why the no part?
So it depends on like how they are. I would say like rejection is gonna be the name of the game here as far as photo and video. You're gonna get rejected 9 out of 10 times, 19 out of 20 times.
Yeah.
So if you don't take rejection well, like you gotta like like push through your limits. You gotta push through that block in your head, and you gotta just keep reaching out.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, like these creators and stuff like that, they've worked with like great photographers, right? That's I'm still intimidated sometimes when I reach out to like people. I'm like, hey, I got a great concept. I want to shoot this. Like, do you want to be a part of this? And I see like their work and the photographers that they've worked with and people who I look up to, or I'm like, oh my God, their work is amazing. I still reach out, and sometimes I say no, and sometimes I say yes. And those yeses are like amazing. So yes, reach out to content creators. Just don't get discouraged.
Right.
Yeah. With all that kind of stuff.
It's one of those things where you gotta push through. You just gotta push through it. I mean, even I have that where I'm like, I'm reaching out to guests and stuff, and sometimes I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, but I should, because I've had some people where it's like, I remember when I first started, and even though I was like doing the podcast very casually, like to me, someone with even today, like someone with like 30 to 40,000 followers, I'm like, this is a big, I guess I'm a little podcast, but like I remember one of the first people I had on was like, so they had 25,000 followers. They were a content creator at EDM, and they're like, oh, come on. And I was like, what? I was like shocked. They said, yes. Hell, they might. But the same things, I might, Yeah. But at the same time, it's on the opposite of that. You got to just kind of shoot that shot, hope it works out. And yeah, you said 1 out of 10 might hit. And then you never know what that connection could be.
Exactly.
They're like, hey, well, so-and-so could come on. So-and-so could use some work. I loved your work.
Exactly.
But yeah, you got to build that network. It is crazy, networking.
Yeah. It's fun though sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I like people with like similar interests that have been in the game for a while. They like they're just such a wealth of knowledge. That's why I'm like, if you are trying to get in photo and video, like these meetup groups are amazing as well, because there's going to be experienced people there all the way to like someone who's right there with you.
Right.
So like you get like, damn, don't be, it's scary going up to people.
Yeah.
Just like the worst they could say is no, and you continue on with your life.
Right.
The same. Like your life doesn't change if they say no.
If you're still going to go after your end goal, whether they say yes or no.
Your life doesn't, like the progress doesn't go down if they say no. It can only go up if they say yes.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I got to send like 50 DMs after this now with that motivation. I don't know. Like, come on. But yeah, no, that's funny. I totally agree with that. It's just getting over the hump. Another kick I've been on the last year or so. I've talked about this on the podcast numerous times, but like that using that fear is like a good indication.
Oh yeah.
You're kind of pushing in the right direction of things, because you experience that uncomfortableness, and it's almost like I've tried to make a good analogy with it, but it's like your higher self is what's on the other side of that fear, telling you like, come on, just push through it, and your lower self that wants to keep you where you're at is like, what if it doesn't work out? It's like, that little voice in your head but when you have that fear, I think that's a big indication that like you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, 100%.
You're on the right path, at least.
Like,
I don't know how to explain that though. The way I just tried to.
So, all right. So let's say education, college, certificate, trade school, whatever it is you want to do, right? And like people put that off for so long, right? they're like, oh, I can't right now. Like, oh, this is happening in my life. Like my dog's sick. I got to take care of other things. But 2 years from now, people are like saying the same thing, right?
Right.
2 years from now, you could either have that degree or be on your way to getting that certificate or trade or whatever, or 2 years you could be in the same position. 2 years has still gone by. What did you do with that? You know, like when you could have like worked towards it even a little bit. Take one class, take two classes, take baby steps, take buy that camera.
Yeah.
You know, at least you bought the camera. You know,
Yeah.
at least you know how to use it a little bit. Like that's still progress. Like you just need to take those steps.
We had a saying when I was in sales, and I loved that on our team, was 1% better every day.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't need a 20% day.
Yeah.
You don't need to be 1,000 times better in one day.
No.
You just need to work on like one thing, whether it's like the beginning of your pitch, maybe it's the conversation once the pitch is done, you know, maybe it's just being more personable. I don't know, whatever it is. So just work on the one. That's all you need. You don't need to go crazy on it.
Yeah.
And just building those blocks over time is going to get you to that 100%.
Yeah.
And if you're consistently doing things, it does breed success. Like if you're just sticking with it and just going. But that's where people fall flat, is like the consistency.
Yeah.
Like you talk about, okay, I think a perfect example, not a perfect example, but a example that everyone can understand is like with college is like you go, and that's a little bit more forced on you, but in the same sense of like where most people, I should say, but like, or it's at least society like has in the last, 20 years really pushed that on people. But with that being said, if you look at that as like consistently going to school over the years, you go from 8th grade and you go to high school and you go to college and you get a degree and you keep working toward that. Like technically it's all built up for that 20 years for you to get that diploma and then get that job. In a way, you've been consistent for those first 20 years.
Exactly.
And it's led to whatever, XYZ job or gig you went for. And that's a perfect example that anyone can kind of understand. But when you quantify it into something that you want to take a risk on or whatnot, we all kind of like get a little flat on our face, or we don't know how to do it. It's because there's no, or at least from my opinion, there's no structure with it. And you kind of have to give yourself that structure, or at least have an idea of what that goal is. That way you know what you have to go and do every day to get to it.
Yeah.
Because if your goal is to be the best photographer for food and beverage in Denver, well, it doesn't happen overnight. No. And even though that might be the goal, and that's something you do want to have on that vision board, then you need to like somehow be like, well, where do I start?
Yeah.
And that's where people, I think, a lot of times get lost, is like the how do I get started? It's like, I know I do. Sometimes I always say I feel like I'm a slow mover when it comes to things.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I need to do, but then like, how do I do it? And I'm definitely analyze things. How do I do this? What am I supposed to do? I'm probably overthinking it too much. But at the end of the day, it's like, for me, that's how I want to get to that consistent level. How do I get to that consistent level and get to the thing up here?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I literally take like, I take photos and video of drinks that I make at my house by myself.
That's awesome.
Just like, oh, I have an extra like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then it turns into 4 or 5 because
you're enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm having fun with it. But it's at my house. It's at my location. It's in my like safe space. That's how I'm shooting all my food and beverage right now. Like it's available to me.
Why do we not think about doing this podcast over like a drink or something?
Yeah, it's true. Right?
We should have done that.
Yeah.
Next one.
Next one.
We'll do a prep and everything. You can film it and do your stuff, and then we'll do a drink with it.
We could do it at my house.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did we not do that? I didn't think about it.
We have like 2 camera setup. Like one on me, I'm like making you a drink, like prepping something.
Happy hour segment?
Huh?
You do a happy hour segment?
Oh yeah.
On the podcast? All right. I might be down for that. That'd be dope. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Sorry, not to interrupt, but I was like, all of a sudden I'm like, wait, why didn't we do that? Because we would incorporate your content and mine in the same one. We definitely need these. All right, we'll brainstorm it so far. Well, because it's funny, like I need consistent content right now. Like I've talked about this openly on the podcast. Like I've set a goal for myself this year. I want to get this podcast to 200 episodes.
Okay.
I have 75 more to go.
Oh shit.
It's a lot. 76 months, 74 after this. Yeah, that's right. So that's a lot. That's a lot. But
are you doing over the halfway mark at half the year? So
yeah, well, I started only like a month ago too.
Yeah, I'll set your.
Because I took those time off, and everything. That's when I figured out like what I want to do.
Yeah,
and because I've always done this podcast very casually.
Yeah,
which means when I say that, I didn't put a lot of time and effort into it in the sense of like getting clips out, being consistent with clips, where if something's going out every day for the pod, because that's the reality of it, is that's kind of how it works nowadays. And just being content consistent is what I would call it. And like, or in putting out consistent episodes. Like I might go on a stretch where like I've got a lot of guests for 3 months, 4 months, and then I casually take a break off, or just, then it's one episode a week or one episode every 2 weeks. Or I had other projects I was doing and this took a back seat, and I've just decided like, no, we're going to really go hard for 6 months and on something we like, which is helpful. And then we're going to see where it goes from there. And that 6 months, we can reassess what we need to do.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll like, we're halfway through it's like 2 episodes a week, essentially is what I need to do.
Okay.
And obviously, if I don't get that, then sometimes there's going to be 3 episodes one week, 4. So, which is fine. I think when I get to that point, the new year, probably we'll do back to like 1 to 2 episodes a week, for sure 1. But like, it's like we'll reassess when we get there.
Yeah.
We need to go hard and be consistently hard
Yeah.
on this thing that we now realize we want to do. But yeah. I was getting to the point was like I do need content, a lot of content. So more guests the merrier. Especially we can convert it and do one of your own segments or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Sweet. What is when it comes to how important is social media when it comes to being a photographer in a sense?
So it kind of depends on like what kind of photographer you want to be.
Okay.
I want to help out businesses and stuff like that. I want to work with people. So my follower account isn't like too big of a deal for me. And it was forever. And on my like normal photography page where I like post models and people and things like that, I only have like 1,300 followers. Like I'm not huge, by any means. But do I think my skill level is there? Yeah, I do. I think I have my own style kind of set. My colors look awesome. I just don't post there significantly. And because I get consistent business outside of it. And I like it like that, and I thought I wouldn't like it. And would I like more followers? Would I like to be like up there and be a content creator with that? Absolutely, 100%.
The way you shook your head, I thought you were gonna say no. So
Yeah.
switched up on me.
100%. Like, yeah, I would absolutely love that. But I need to put in the work for that.
Right.
But right now is like I'm career focused versus like social media focused.
Yeah.
And they can work together, obviously. Like that's the world we live in now. But I need to put more time into that when I think my goals are currently shifting. Because I did launch that food and beverage page because that's the dream, right? That's the goal. I launched that this year. And that is more social media driven because I don't have those clients or as many of those clients yet. Lucky enough, I've been able to work with like some bars around Denver and just like some people knowing like what I want to do and they connect me to the right people. But for that, I think social media is important for that one. And I think, I guess once I've kind of dialed in what I want for the page, how I want to present it, like how I want to do my content. Because right now I'm doing like voiceless stuff, just kind of like, here it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like experimenting with like different, forms and structures of that content. And I think that once I have that dialed in, I'm really going to try to drive that social media channel. So my answer to that question is yes and no. Social media
depends on the goals.
Depends on
the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's something I started my Babs Life page with the idea of like I wanted 2 things. Was like I wanted to get a big enough following to where I could leverage it to get clients.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to get free festival tickets because it started out with music stuff. And I hit the like festival goal like 2 years ago. I was like able to go to a couple pages that picked me up and were like, hey, we'll want you to go to these things, just cover for us. You can make your own content while you're there. But like your goal would be to write an article before, cover the pre-event for it, or cover the event for us while you're there, post every day on our page, and then just post coverage too.
Yeah.
And that was great. And then I realized after a year, I was like, well, I don't think I always want to do this. So and then it was a weird moment for me where it was like, well, I've been working toward this thing. I got it. Now what's the next end goal? And then there was like the argument, do I keep growing this page to leverage for the client idea? And there's a part of me that's like, yes, that would work. It would work. There's no doubt about it. If you have the following, you could say you're a social media manager, and that would help you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have a buddy who has his own marketing agency, and he does email retention and retention marketing, and he has 0 following, and it pulls in plenty of money, and he lives on his own. He travels wherever he wants. So I'm like, okay. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure if he did content, it would help. But at the same time, he's like, I don't have time for this. I got my own business now. I've got 20 clients. Like, what am I going to do? Well, how am I going to do this? So it's funny to look at both things. Like, which one do you enjoy more? I don't know. Or which one do you want more? You want more money and freedom, and then you can do whatever you want? Or I don't know. There's 1,000 ways to do it.
Yeah.
I always like to pick people's brain because of that. And because there are so many ways of doing things, I think it's important to highlight the route other people go, because you might be thinking you need to go one way, and then you hear someone talking, you're like, wait, that sounds like way more up my alley. And now I can go do that. It's interesting. And yeah, that's something that's changed over the years for me. I was like, I don't know if there's just one set way of doing things. I think maybe that's just like growing up. You're like, oh, now there's a lot of different things. Again, we're in a generation where we have so many things thrown at us, podcasting, this and that, where we can like, it's almost too overwhelming too, actually. You know, when I think about that, like, I don't know if you've gone that, like, there's been times in my life where I'm like, I think I'm watching like too much content on like doing things. Like now I'm like just watching for the point of brain stimulation rather than like the actual billion of things.
I know this. Yeah. Why am I watching this? Yeah, click out. Oh, I knew this. Yeah.
I like watch other creators in different niches. That's where I get a lot of inspiration.
Tell me more. Elaborate on that.
Like, I think my algorithm kind of like fixed itself, but like there's this one video that I want to do, and it's like all sound design. And I was over this song, and like the sound design, like the breaks in between the music and like the sound effects that they put into there with their content over it was like amazing. And it was a car video. It was like car video. So like the song we were playing, pause, you hear the shifting of the gears, boom boom music, even overlaying the music, you hear like the tires like spinning, engine revving, like all these, like they even put like the windshield wipers in there, like they put a little like squeak and extra brake, and I was like, it's cool, and I was like, oh, I could do that with like drink content. Like, let me find a cool song, let me like figure out like all the sounds that I want to put in there, let me like put a little bit of music knowledge in there and just like see where I can like on the count put that sound design and those sound effects in there. And I'm like, all right, let me plan this out. And it was like cool. I was like, oh, I can like relay this to my content, my niche. I was like, I just want to try that out because that looks fun. Am I copying someone? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like it inspired me.
There's a lot of content like that though. Copy people.
I mean, like there's not a lot of unique ideas. Oh, there is.
There is. But once, right. That's why they stand out so much. And after that, a lot of copy, like you're making it your own niche or something like that. They always do that.
But you always, and you give credit where credit's due. Of course. You're like, hey, this was inspired by this creator, so-and-so, like that's awesome too. Like all the dancing videos, like, oh, the dance creator was at whoever. So like you have to give people their flowers for sure, because you don't want to be like a copycat. Like Ray William Johnson, one of my favorite creators, he just does like a bunch of story times. People have copied his format and they do super well, and people know that it's like Ray Williams Johnson's like style.
Okay.
You can like start things too. Or let's see, I tried doing a trend once on my TikTok, like the holy airball.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like the most engagement I've ever had. I was just like, oh, I spent hours doing like all these other videos. Oh, and then I do that.
Yeah.
And just blows up.
That is something that is important, I think, for all content creators or even like small business owners that are making content around their business. You just don't know what's going to blow up. And there's nothing wrong with just trying something, seeing what happens. I mean, I literally took a video the other day where I was watching the Tomorrowland live stream, and it was like hard style, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video that's like, this is what Europeans listen to, and I knew it was also a little bit of rage bait there, but like I put it up and it was like the hard style in the background, and of course it is
Did well.
8 seconds.
Yeah.
And it took me no more than 5 minutes to make. And it's the best video I had in fucking week months, dude, honestly. And I'm like, all right, well, yeah, cool. I'm excited about it. And then, of course, people are arguing. Like I said, it was a little rage baity. And I put in the
drives traffic. Yeah.
It drives traffic. And funny, actually, I've been doing a lot more content studying and stuff of that nature. And I was thinking about it for my job and my clients. And then I kind of came across this thing where there's 3 pillars of content. There's pillar 1, which is you kind of want majority of your content. So about 40% at the very least of this content, because you want this to be the majority, which is driving traffic. And it should be in what we would call that pillar is content that the people like, but it could be technically created from any creator.
Okay.
So just again, like, don't know, like, take that video I put about, the European music.
Yeah.
Anyone could have made that over here in the States.
Yeah.
Or anyone over there, their friends that hates hardstyle, and they could get the views on it. And then the second pillar for a business standpoint would be driving traffic, or for you, maybe getting clients, stuff of that nature. So it's more content oriented, like, here's what I can do, here's what they offer type of thing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily salesy, but just more like, there's what I actually do.
Yeah.
And then the third is similar to pillar 1, but it's very like content specific that your audience would like. So for instance, if it's yours, your page would be like a very specific shooting of a drink, essentially. Yeah. Whereas like the first other content might be like generic, like you said, trendy content.
Yeah.
But this one, you're like making it specifically for the audience that likes drink and bar photography. So anyways, I've been thinking a lot through that lens of things, where it's like, because it was weird to think about it from a client perspective and stuff, but then here I am on my own page looking at it, and I'm like, well, I can make content like this. What pillar would this fall into? Like, it's changed my whole perspective.
Okay.
Because before I just like, there's also that too, where like, maybe you feel this from a creator standpoint. We can kind of put out whatever we want, and we should put out whatever we want. We should have fun with it.
Yeah.
And not to say you can't do the pillar thing and have fun, by the way, you can still do that.
Right.
But, I've always just done that. Like, well, all right, I want to make this. Okay, make it, done. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then, whereas like with a business and a client, you got to be a little bit more focused and like, what is the goal of this content?
Yeah.
Because there's ideally some conversion on the back end that they want. But
100%.
I don't know. It's been funny to like take that from a business standpoint. And now I'm like, oh, how do I use this for? It's shifted my whole perspective.
Yeah, it is.
We're about like an hour mark here.
Yeah.
So I won't take too much more of your time. I always ask this question when it's a guest's first appearance on the show, and I probably should have warned you this. So I apologize that I didn't tell you this in advance. But the theme of the show is live yourself for every day.
Uh-huh.
And that would be the question is, how do you live yourself every day?
Oh.
I know.
How do I live for myself?
So usually I do tell people beforehand this question because it's such a open-ended question. There's no wrong answer. It's just how you think you live yourself for every day. And but I always try to give you a little heads up because it is so open-ended where people are like, oh my God, what the fuck is on you?
I mean, dang. With the I am at a point in life where like I'm like super not content with myself, I shouldn't say, but I'm like happy with who I am as a person. Like, I think my morals are in line. Like, I think I'm on the right side of things. But like, I know I can be more, so I guess to answer that question is like, hey, like, I do this at night, and it's corny as hell, but I do it.
Hey, journal, man. What how corny could it be?
I do affirmations in the morning, in the mirror. Tell myself I love myself. Like, it's helped out a lot. But like at night,
I do that same shit. In my gratitude journal, on the flip side of it, I do that. I do a little affirmation.
Oh,
and I get your shit together. Sorry, go ahead.
Every night I like before I go to bed, I like tuck my dog in. She sleeps in a bed right next to mine. And she's spoiled, so she gets a blanket over her. She won't lay down until I have the blanket ready for her. Yeah, it's great. But I talk to her every night, and I'm like, "Did you have a good day?" And then I'm like, "Oh, I had a good day," or "Oh, I had an okay day."
Yeah.
And just that conversation at the end of the night is like so simple. It's like corny, but like whatever. It helps me reflect on the day, um, and I get to tell like a story to someone who doesn't need to hear it, but is like loves me regardless.
Right.
So right now it's like it's my dog and it's me. You know, I live for me and my dog.
Yeah.
um. Yeah. I don't know how to answer that question. I guess.
Well, I'll sum it up. It sounds like kind of what we were saying at the beginning, but like that ever-ending like growth.
Yeah.
Whether it's constant improvement in a sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
I talk about how the day went. I assess how my day went, and then go from there on the next one.
Yeah, man. And I just like telling stories.
Telling stories.
Yeah, I mean, as humans, I think that is our most like natural thing to do is
Yeah.
tell stories. You know, we hear stories from like books in ancient times and like gods and mythology and lore and whatever it is. Like everything that we do is just to pass down stories to everyone. You know, so yeah, that's what I like doing.
Nah, telling stories.
Yeah.
We'll leave it on that note.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. Oh, plug your Instagram for plug your Instagram for your
Yeah.
for the drink and food page.
Yeah, sure.
Or both, really.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You put them in the caption too, but
Man, I got 2. I got 5. It's drinking food and beverage page is gonna be Pour 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 Decisions Denver. I thought it was clever. And
be the name of a bar, honestly.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I thought about it, dude. And then regular one is just Geoffrey W Media. You know, Geoffrey with a G. I'm a Geoffrey. So
Sweet. All right. Find him there. Bye, everybody. Peace.
see you guys.